tomorrow we start a 14-day fast. We are going to fight for our house. We are going to fight for our house. Because I know that you are hoping I'll sing, I won't sing. Because I know that some of us have suffered. Because I have personal interaction with almost everybody. Some of us have struggled and are still hustling to life. But we will fight for our house. Over the next 14 days, every evening we are here from 7 to 8:30. We will fight for our house. We will just fight for our house. Because we have become the victims when we are supposed to be the victims. We have become the ones that are receiving the battle when we are supposed to be the ones that are taking the battle to the devil. But in the next 14 days, we change the narrative. In the next 14 days, we show the devil who's boss. In the next 14 days, shut the kitchen door, put that plate upside down, and war. You've been eating all your life. Not eating from 6 to 6 for 14 days is not going to kill you. It is time to war. Tell your neighbor it's time to war. Some of you didn't say it because what I'm saying is nonsense to you. If we go to the house, we'll say war. Tell your neighbor it's time to war.
It's time to war.
And a very powerful example of a character in the Bible that warred for his house was Nehemiah. So I'm speaking for the next 20 minutes on the message I've entitled the Nehemiah Approach. The Nehemiah Approach. The Nehemiah Approach. Backstory. Nehemiah was a cupbearer to the king Artaxerxes. Nehemiah was a cupbearer. Just said he is the one who held the cup of the king and gave him wine or water or alcohol or whatever it is the king wanted. He was the one that bore the king's cup. And in those days, that was a very enviable position because you could poison the king, you could kill the king. So the king's life was literally in your hands. And Nehemiah was the one that had that rare opportunity to be able to serve the king wine or water or alcohol or whatever it is the king wanted to drink. He was the one that had the rare opportunity of doing that. And in those days, there was, somebody said, an evil law. An evil law. In those days, if you were the cupbearer, you couldn't show emotions. If you were the cupbearer, you couldn't show emotions, especially negative emotions. It could get you executed. Because in their minds, what they were thinking was that every time you have a negative emotion, it means you have done something about the cup that is going to attack the king's health or eventually his life. And so you couldn't show emotions. And so the king must not see you sad. The king must, what an evil law. Any evil law in your life, I repeal and I curse. Because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever that a man cannot show emotions. And so the day Nehemiah was showing emotions, the king asked him, Joe, I don't know, when Nehemiah was sick, and I got afraid. Because for the king to ask that question means that he has seen that there's some emotion which is not joy and it is actually negative, and that can be tantamount to execution. And Nehemiah said, I was afraid. But he had gotten word that his people, the walls of Jerusalem were down higher. And he was unhappy because nobody was even thinking about putting the walls back up. And he was far away in Obi-Mans, far away, exiled in a foreign land, with a very lofty and very high position, and yet his family, his nation was in ruins. The walls were not built, and it broke his heart. It broke his heart. And the very first thing he did was to spiritually prepare. Say spiritual preparedness. So number one, right? Spiritual preparedness or spiritual preparation. That's more everyday English. Spiritual preparation. And you could add prayer and fasting, because that's what he did. Spiritual preparation. In Nehemiah 1, between the verse 4 and 11, he fasted. He prayed. He even confessed the sins of his people. Spiritual preparation is important. Hey, spiritual preparation is so important, it's not funny. He even confessed the sins of his people, which means that you are in a family and there are things happening in your family, and sometimes you have to go down on your knees and say, God, whatever my mother did, whatever my father did has caused a problem in my now life, Father, I plead your blood and I ask for mercy. Because God is so principled, it's not funny. It's not funny. And you've got to plead. You need to know what is going on and be able to plead. So the first thing he did was spiritually prepare. Then the next thing he did was to plan strategically. You don't want to write these down, they're important. Strategic planning is number two. Strategic planning. When the king noticed Nehemiah's sadness, he boldly requested permission to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Now, if you read verse 4, between verse 4 and verse 5, the same chapter, Nehemiah 1, you'll find that when the king asked, why is your face like this? There's obviously a gap there. He goes and he comes back and he tells the king what he really wants. Nehemiah 1:4-5. So in 4, the king asks, and in 5, he responds, but it's obvious that he actually prayed about it. You see, most of us are walking through life and yet we are waltzing through life. We are just what is my will come. We don't know what the problem is. Proverbs 25 verse 2. He says, it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. You have to sit down and look at your family. What's wrong with this house? I see my grandfather got married to 3 women. I see my father got married to 2 women. I see my father. I see my great grandfather 3. My grandfather 3. My father 1 and has 4 stepchildren. And you see, your great grandfather was a heavy alcoholic. Your grandfather was a heavy alcoholic. Your father was a drunkard. And you see that all the women in your family, they don't get married. They get married, they are back home after 2 years. And you see the cycle that is happening. You are setting out the matter. Because to strategically plan successfully, you must be able to know what you are up against, what you are attacking. So you take a book and you write it down. You write what the issues are now. Why? Because it aids your prayer. It aids your attack, because you know exactly what you are dealing with. It says it is the glory of kings to search out a matter. And the Bible says we are kings and we are priests unto God. Tell them about search out the matter. What is going on in your heart? There's something going on in your home that you have to search out. It's not for nothing that Auntie Mansa didn't get married. Not for nothing that Auntie Rekua didn't get married. It's not for nothing that Kukua had a problem with her marriage and came back home. It's not for nothing that the last most beautiful girl in the family, she actually had a baby out of wedlock. And then after 4 years later, somebody came and said they'll marry her and slept with her 2 days and left on Monday and never came back again. It is not for nothing. Search out the matter. You must know what is wrong in your family to be able to pray against it.
The Word.
The Bible says God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. If the Bible is yours, underline and highlight the word diligent.
The worship. The joy.
Everything displays the wonders of your grace. You took
An avenue of love, togetherness, transformation, and solution.
Grace Avenue.
No gimmicks, just Jesus. Grace Avenue. Grace lives here. So Nehemiah 2:48, he prepared a clear plan and asked for the resources he needed. He prepared a clear plan. I'll do this, I'll go here, I'll do this, I'll pass here, and give me soldiers when I pass here, they are wearing me, I'll need wood, so please, I also need wood from here, so can you please help me? He prepared a clear plan and asked for the resources he needed. Some of you to even prepare the plan is a problem because in your mind, money answers all things. That is a lie. Money doesn't solve all things. In your mind, this can be fine. You are a joker. People will say you are a comedian. It is not possible. Else, every rich man would have a problem if money solves all things. The rich man will not have problems. Some of you, if you were Solomon and God came to you to ask you, even though there was plenty money already, you still ask for money. So I don't have a bed, 200 billion we can want. Meanwhile, there's plenty money already. You are going to ask for more money. That's not what you need. Some of you don't need, I have a Muslim friend. So I asked her, I said, I told her we are fasting tomorrow. And I'll be having this, Christian Muslim thing with her. I said, we start a fast tomorrow. She said, oh, please pray for me when you fast. I said, of course, why not? Then I asked her, what do you want me to pray for? She said, I just want good health. That hit me. That hit me. How many people in this building, if I ask, somebody say list. At least I know that number one is what? Money. And number two is more money. And number three is too much money. All the four is money. She said, I don't want good health. Don't only ask for money. Look at the problems in the family and solve the problems. Go against them head on. Say head on. Number three, physical and spiritual defense. Nehemiah 4:1 through the 3rd verse. 1 through 3. Nehemiah led the people to rebuild the walls. I just like the guy. They got to a point where when the people were building, the one was holding trowel. They got to a point when the mason is holding a trowel and he has a sword here. So it is physical and spiritual defense. Anywhere you pass, boys day. We have prayed, but on the ground we are building, but we got fire. So he has a trowel. The one who is he plasters. The one who is cutting the wood for something. He has a saw, but he has a sword. Don't only be somebody that has nice makeup and cannot pray. Don't be a young man that's only interested in nice shoes and you cannot pray. So when I'm going to get married, be careful. Don't only look at nice car and nice tricep. Ask him, can you pray? So please, I want to marry you. I want to ask the guy, Pastor, when was the last time you prayed for 1 hour? See that prayer will go chop. Wait. Not be prayer will go chop, but wait. When your jokutia at 1 a.m. and you know that this is not normal, and you need a spouse that can put their hand there and say, in the name of Jesus. You must be rounded on every side. Eba eduane a onim no akakra. Eba make up a onim kakra. At least no one yet kaka mo be fa koko. At least kakra. Oh, just nude, nice. Eba nantie so a one nantie say. And I say at least nantie so timi, but I say utimi kakra. I say eba mpa so utimi eyi usu go ho. Eyi say you ko na nemu feto ta ya. Eba kakra. So you are rounded. So when the guy he's fixing the wall, but he's got a sword. So you can come and try to break the wall and he's gonna cut you down. And yet he's building the wall. Spiritual and physical defense. Everywhere put up a defense. Tell them about put up a defense. Amen. 4:14. He said, fight for your brothers, fight for your sons, fight for your daughters, fight for your wives, and fight for your homes. If you are a gentleman, listen, usually when men go to marry, when you are going to marry, the lady is on your right, and you walk with the lady to the altar. After you are married, finish me by listening. After you are married, the lady comes to your left. Do you know why? When you are going to the altar, she's on your right, because at that point you are not responsible for her. When you are walking from here to here, she's on your right. But after you are done, and when her father is bringing her, she's on the father's left. Because the right must be free. So if anybody attacks your wife, you can do like this and punch the person. So they put the wife to the left. After you come to the altar, you are going back, they put her to your left. Because now you are in charge of your wife. If you are in this building and you are a sleeper, wake up. If you are in this building and you are a guy, and all you know is to bring my food, let me eat, you sleep there. Wake up, oh! You don't have time. You don't have what? Time. This is the time to pray. It's the time to live a holy life. It's a time to fear God. It's a time to stop sports bet. It's a time to stop drinking alcohol. It's a time to begin walking a life worthy of the calling. Because very soon, your time will be up. I'm telling you, take it from me. You think you're a young man today? Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. I wish when I was 25, I knew what I knew now. I beg you by the message of God, listen to what I'm telling you. This is an old dog telling you that this is the time. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Before these days come, these days, I can go to sleep at night and wake up with a backache or a leg ache. I don't understand where it came from. I go to sleep strong and wake up sick. The last point, faith and perseverance. Faith and perseverance. The people threatened, they intimidated the guy, but he persisted. There is no victory without persistence. There's no human being under the sun that got successful accidentally. It is intentional work. Anybody who gets successful accidentally, I give them 5 years, will come back right where they started.
The word.
The Bible says God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. If the Bible is yours, underline and highlight the word diligent.
The worship. The joy.
Everything displays the wonders of your grace. You took
An avenue of love, togetherness, transformation, and solution.
Grace Avenue.
No gimmicks, just Jesus. Grace Avenue. Grace lives here. Write these 4 things down as the application for today. Nehemiah teaches us the importance of spiritual leadership. Nehemiah teaches us the importance of spiritual leadership, number one. Spiritual leadership. Nehemiah teaches us the importance of spiritual leadership. Number two, he teaches us the importance of stewardship. Stewardship, number two. Stewardship. Number two, stewardship. Number three, defending your family. He teaches us the importance of defending your family. And number four, he teaches us the importance of unity and teamwork. You want to write this down? Nehemiah's story reminds us that when we trust in God, when we take action and stand united. Nehemiah's story reminds us that when we trust in God, take action and stand united. Nehemiah's story reminds us that when we trust in God, take action and stand united, we can rebuild and protect our homes from all forms of destruction. We can rebuild and protect our homes from all forms of destruction. Rise to your feet. Begin to talk to God. Talk to the King. Begin to talk to God. Begin to talk to God. Talk to the Master. Begin to talk to God. Yes, sir. May the Lord help you with grace for the next 14 days. May the Lord help you with grace as we come here every night to wage strategic warfare. May the Lord help you with grace. Open your mouth and talk to the Master. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Talk to him, talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. Are you in this church?
Grace of grace, grace, grace.